After 4 years of wins, losses, and lessons, here are the biggest mistakes that I learned the hard way. Trying to predict a market instead of waiting for a reaction or waiting for an actual setup and just sticking to a bias. For an example, maybe in the pre-market we had some news, market pumps up, already breaking above the most previous highs, and it looks very bullish. Without seeing how the market reaction or the price action acts at open, just hopping right in, taking a trade right off the gate, hoping and praying that it goes in my favor towards the upside, just because I'm stuck to a bias, which in this case is bullish. That is a horrible lesson to learn. It's a difficult mindset to get out of, and taking trades right at open is a lesson that I no longer do. Now what I like to wait for is price action, maybe give the market an hour or two before I actually take the first trade, because I like to see how the market's reacting off my levels first before I identify a trade setup. So sticking to a bias just because in the pre-market market looks a specific way, and then taking a trade and executing right at open is a lesson that I wish I learned in the beginning. Now my mentors always told me to as well, at least give the market 15 minutes before you actually take a trade to see how the market reacts. Because a lot of times people are just getting out of their positions from the night before, repositioning themselves or buying more as well, selling some. So in that case, giving the market some time is always ideal. Now the second lesson that I learned is not shooting for price targets. So this is something that I took on my third year to learn, which was understanding that you need to actually shoot for a price target and have a price target in mind other than shooting for a 1-to-1, which is on my whiteboard behind me. Shooting for small gains such as a 10%, 15%, and then collecting that is holding back your gains, because guys, I promise you, if you try to shoot for a price target on every single trade and do your absolute best to try to hold all the way to your price target, the gains will be a lot more. And then when you do set a stop loss and you actually respect your plan, the losses will be a lot smaller than your gains always. So that is something that I wish I would have learned when I first started trading. Risk management, shooting for price targets, and understanding that not every single trade is going to go in your favor. Not every single trade is always going to hit. Even if it looks like the best setup and there's no way it's not going to pay. Guys, there's times where even I say volume's kicking in, hammer candle, break and retest strategies here, pre-market high gets broken, and again, I just have to cut for a loss. And I don't mind, because I'll take a small $30 loss on the day instead of taking a $60, $80, $100 loss in one single trade. And last but not least, which is the most important, which is why I kind of want to talk about it a little bit more, is understanding time frames. Now, of course, I'm not going to get into technical analysis. I'm not going to tell you what I recommend you need to learn, what strategy is better, or what I think is outperforming what. I just recommend, whether you trade any strategy, is the fact that you look at higher time frames, guys. Now, I will give respect to people that do trade the 1 minute time frame and make money on the 1 minute time frame. But I will say that you need to look out on the outer picture and see exactly what's going on the macro time frame. You need to see on the 1 hour, 30-minute time frame at least, or the 4 hour daily to weekly, to see exactly where we're heading in the momentum. Because there are a lot of times where people only watch the 5, 3, or 1 minute, find specific levels on those time frames, and expect those levels to work out all the time. Again, the higher the time frame, the stronger the move. So if you find a level on a 4 hour time frame, for an example, a specific support level, let's say on SPY, 550 for an example. If you find that on a 4 hour time frame, every time SPY hits 550, it always bounces on a support, then you have the ability to trade that on a lower time frame. Whereas if you're trying to find support levels on a 5 minute time frame, 1 minute time frame, and you're only seeing one single day, and you're using one single day's price action as a way to find and justify your next day's support levels, it's horrible. Which is why I see new traders hop in here and think that they can only rely on Fibonacci retracement levels, which is the lazy way of finding support and resistance levels, as well as they'll look at only lower time frames, guys. I recommend people to look at the higher time frame, because I always say in my Discord, the higher the time frame, the stronger the move, which is very true, which is why I only trade on a 15-minute time frame. Whenever I see a 15-minute confirmation breakout on the 15-minute time frame, that is when I then go on a lower time frame, such as a 5 minutes at the least, and then I enter there. And over time, I do plan on even going higher time frames and trading and entering on 30-minute time frames, which there are moments and there are days in my vlogs where I do literally only trade using that 1 hour time frame, and then I enter in on a 30-minute time frame. So I do practice here and there higher time frame trading, which is what I do recommend, because again, the higher the time frame, the stronger the move, and that is how you really identify where we're heading in the market. So with all that being said, guys, if you guys want to learn more about option trading, you guys want to get into it, more specifically on the break and retest strategy, which is my perfection and what I focus on, as well as candlesticks and volume, then click the link in the bio, and I'll see you guys in my trading Discord community with over 300 people in there as well. You get access to a lot of educational pre-recorded videos as well as where you even do trade recaps, go over our trades as well during the week, on the weekend, and I'll see you guys in there.